Okay, so we managed to get it outside. Fantastic. Washed all of the dust off. Found out where the water leaks come from, which is not so good, but we'll talk about that in a little while. Wing. In the daylight then you can see the colour is a bit off out here. But I'm wondering whether or not maybe another coat of paint and a bit of lacquer on it or something like that might sort of buy it up. So we'll revisit this at some point or other. We're not worried about that in a minute because there's not much else we can do, is there? There's my baby. Right, let's get her back inside. Okay, she's back in and dust free. Fantastic. So what we're going to do next then? We've got a few little bits we're going to do. We're going to replace the throttle cable because it's a bit sticky, and I've got to bolt the pedal down. It's impossible to drive the thing. Just shunting it back and forth with the pedal flopping. Well, it's not impossible, but it's very difficult to drive it with the pedal sort of flopping around everywhere. So those are little bits we're going to do. But so yeah, new throttle cable. I've got to reseal where I did all of the welding at the back on the floor and that. I haven't been back underneath it and had a look underneath. So I've got to reseal everything back up underneath the van as well. So that's another little job to be done. Yeah, so the next big job, or the next thing we're going to have a go at then is the rut on the other side. So you notice I've parked it in the garage now, so I've got a bit of space to walk around it, so I can get down both sides. And I've got a bit of rust along this top edge on the other side we're going to try and sort out. And so that'll involve taking the window out on the other side. We're going to paint it cream at the top as well. I said I'm only going to do this with spray cans, so we'll see how it turns out. And I'm not 100% sure how much cream I'm going to do. Not too much, only a tiny little bit I think. But we'll see. But the water leaks then, yeah, so I'm so glad I didn't take the bloody sunroof out. I nearly took the whole thing out. I was in the throes of doing it and I didn't bother. And there is a leak from the sunroof, but the leak's between the glass and the sill rather than the seal and the body. And I was going to take the whole freaking thing out. That would have been a job and a half, wouldn't it? Put that back in for no reason. So that's pretty good in a sense. The thing's broken. So the catch is broken and it's been sort of cable tied up. So I think it's just not pulling it down tight enough. Maybe we'll give it a little tweak on the front arms as well, just to pull it down a little bit tighter onto the seal, lube up the seal. I think that'll be fine. So that's not a problem. The real big problem and the real shame, this is a real shame, I wasn't expecting this either, is the water leak on the floor. So I'm getting water on the floors. That's just from the feet. But I've been out in the rain, washing it down in the rain and that, and had a really good look. And it's actually come from the front screen, which is really surprising to me, because when you look at it, you can see it's got overspray on the seal and that sort of stuff. But it actually looks like it's in there really well. But it's definitely coming in past the screen somewhere. So the bloody windscreen's going to have to come out. Just hope we don't break it on the way out. And we're going to have a look and see. What I'm really hoping I don't find loads of corrosion underneath it. It looks really good from the outside, you know, but you know what it's like, don't you? Oh no. So next job's then, we're going to take the glass out, take the screen out, take that rear window out. I might pop all of the windows out actually, to be fair. Well, pop all of them, it's only the one on the door, isn't it? And the one down the back there, because it'd make it a lot easier for painting, wouldn't it? Yes, I think I will. I think what we'll do, we're back inside now, back in the dry. Fantastic. I think we'll just probably take all of the glass out, see what the seals are like. They've all got overspray on them, so they all need cleaning anyway. So it'll give me a chance to give the seals a nice clean up. Hopefully they're reusable and we'll be able to put them back in as well. so it'll be easier. Yeah. Let's take the glass out. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Stop talking. Get on and do it. Okay, we're back in and in the dry, which is good. So we're just thinking about taking these windows out then. I'm by myself, so it's quite hard by yourself. Now the front screen, I've just been thinking about the front screen, and what I've done is I've just gone around the sort of outside edge with a wedge, just making sure it's not stuck to the bodywork, which it isn't, which is fantastic. And so to remove the windscreen, what we've got to do, I've taken all of the sun visors as a mirror and grab handle and everything off, so there's nothing in the way now. And it's all about putting a load of pressure on the screen and then trying to pop this seal out. Now what I would normally do here, I think I'd probably use washing up liquid. That always seems to work quite well for a bit of a lubricant. However, doing something like this, there's always a possibility of cracking the screen because you have to put quite a lot of stress on it. And as this seal has got all overspray on it and that kind of stuff as well, and a new seal is only about 30 quid. So I'm actually going to cut this screen out so I hopefully don't damage the screen, and then buy a new seal and replace the seal. So if you imagine how this screen is in the seal, sort of sits down inside. So what I'm going to do is get a Stanley knife, and I'm just going to go around very carefully, like so, all of the way around the seal, and like chop this part of the seal out, if you see what I mean, and then I should just about pop the window out, and then we'll remove the seal and we'll see what's going on with this water leak that I've got. I have noticed, if you look, seam, no seam, so there's filler in here. So we'll find out what we find in a minute, won't we? But anyway, that's what I'm going to do at the minute. So I'm just going to get my knife, nice sharp blade, cut all the way around the screen, and then I should be able to take it out by myself. Okay, can't video it, but I'll come back to you in a moment. Okay, where are you? There? You're there. Good. So we're just cutting this. So I've cut down where I said I was going to cut off, and then what I'm doing is I'm just now I think I'll be able to do this. I'm pulling the seal knife, and I'm just going up to the bodywork, like so. If you see what I mean, if you can see what I mean, and just popping the outer of the seal off. I'm not, if you think about it, I'm actually scratching the bodywork a bit here, but obviously we're going to sort all this out anyway, so not too much of an issue. Last little bit to go in the corner, and I've seen our problem. Oh dear. We'll have a good look at this in a minute, won't we? Look. Bloody rust. Love rust. Just can't get enough of it. Just when I bought this bus, really. Okay, screen out in one piece. Fantastic. So let's have a look at this, and it doesn't look too bad most of the way. There's a little bit starting here, look. All right. A little bit starting up here as well. Now this is a real killer. Down the bottom here, this is where the worst bit is, obviously. That's when the leak was, wasn't it? Mofo. The problem is up there, look, I'm gonna get involved in paint, and I wonder if we're careful whether we can get away with it. Who knows? What I'm going to do then, I'm going to get a wire wheel out, and I'm just going to go over this and see what it actually looks like on those bits. Okay, let's do it. Okie doke. So what we've done, and oh, look at what we've got. ground this up. Big holes. And then over in this corner, more holes. Yeah. Actually, in a sense, this is quite good because this explains why the footwell on this side was getting wet as well. Well, I say it's quite good. It's not really good at all, is it? It would be nicer if it was just perfect. And at the top, look at the top. So we've got holes at the top as well. And the killer is they go round to where the paint is. Mofo. So I'm not quite sure what to do with this at the moment. I'm not sure whether or not to treat it and fill it, or to try and weld it. Be a lot easier just to treat it and then fill it again, wouldn't it? I think that's the way I'm thinking at the moment. Because we can get up, we just pop the dash out of the way and we could get up underneath it, no problem at all, could we? I'm going to have a think about it. I'm going to have a little think about this and I will come back to you. I think I need a cup of tea. Okay, back on it again, look. Never ending this, isn't it, at the moment? One day, we're going to be working on the inside. How exciting will that actually be? Meanwhile, we've got rust. So what I've done, now I couldn't video any of this yesterday, I'm afraid, because one of my daughters has destroyed her phone and she had to borrow mine while I was doing it. But what did I do yesterday? We cut this out. So remember there was a hole here and it was rotten all the way down here as well. So I've welded in a plate along sort of there. And there was some holes around here. And what I've done, I've just filled them in with weld. So what happens is it burns away all of the rotten material, so it gets bigger and bigger. But then you can, once you get some good metal, you can sort of work your way back to it and then grind it back off again. I've just painted it. I wish I hadn't have painted that now because I want to have another look at this. But I just did it yesterday, just to make me feel better. Up here, what I did up here, there were some big holes on the roof. So I did the same thing with that. Rather than welding something in, I just filled them up with weld. So burnt them out, they got quite big, but worked them back in and then ground it down again. And they're not too bad now. There's little pinholes I've just got to fill in again. But it's actually quite thick now, you see what I mean, where the weld's been. What we'll do though, we'll do this bit step by step because I've got my phone back. So I've been thinking about it. I can't fill it. It's too big to fill, isn't it? All of this. I mean, we will fill it, but we've got to fill it up with metal first, haven't we? So the first thing I'm going to do then, I'm going to, you see that? You can see the rust on the metal there. And it's coming out to about there, so around the curve is good. So I'm going to chop all of this section out. Okay. And then there's my bit there. I'm going to get rid of that and that as well. Okay. I might have a go with this bit here. I might actually have a go with this first, see if I can fill out the weld and grind it away again. Because what I'm going to do is replace a bit, put a bit of metal in here, but obviously going around the curve and folding it up, we'll get, I don't know. I'll tell you what, let's just chop a bit out and we'll revisit it. Okay? Bear with me. Right, first job done. I want to get this done today. If I can get this done today, this corner, it'll be awesome, won't it? And that'll only leave us the top and have another look at that side again. Okay, so what I've done then, got the grinder, gone in, chopped out all of this rust. Let's have a look at it. Okay, so along here, and gone back along there again. I'll get the wire wheel on there, let's have little bits on there. Yep, Yep. So what we've got to do, we've got to weld a plate in. Now obviously because the windscreen sits here, we can't weld a plate on top. We have to weld a plate into it, which is why I've sort of cut out a relative square there, because it's just easier to do. So I'm going to make a little plate that with a curve in it, or a bend in it, that goes up against this bit. I've gone back to where it goes around the curve here, which is going to make it a little bit more awkward, but we'll worry about that in a minute. So we're going to get a plate. I'm going to cut a plate that fits inside this hole, and then we're just going to tack it. Okay, so I just tack it in position, and I will come right back to you. Rightio. So we've made our little plate then. And so what we're going to do then, we're just going to tack it on in a couple of places, see how it sits. Now, I've got it sitting down a tiny bit along this edge here. And it looks pretty good to me. I reckon it'll be okay. Bear in mind, we're going to fill this afterwards anyway, aren't we? So it's better to make it lower. If we have it proud, then we've buggered, aren't we? Okay. Hole here, but we'll try filling that, see how we get on. Now this is a bit of a bitch right round in the corner here, because obviously I can't get the grinder in there, so I'll have to got a little die grinder. I'll have to power the compressor up to get into there. Okay, so let's put some weld on it and see what sort of a mess we can make. Okay, this is where we are. This is where we are. Welding. Rust. Love the stuff. So now this might look a bit messy. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It looks lovely, look. It's metal. So we welded a plate all the way in there. And well, it's gone on all the way around. Ground it all back again, which is good. Got to fill it. Yeah. To get our shape back perfectly, but that's done. Don't worry about that, that's good, don't worry, it's fine. This one we did, didn't we? We did this the other day. This one's okay actually, we've had another look. That was fine, and now look what we've done as well, we've rebuilt this corner. So I've put a plate in there. I've had to go all the way around here, which is a right pain in the arse. So we're going to need a lot of filler up on this corner. Get our shape back. Because of the shape, I'm going to have to take a match off the other side just to make sure we get the right curve on this. But it's not far away, and it's solid. Solid as a rock. No rust. No rust. Yeah. Ooh. So what I'm going to do, right, what am I going to do? What I'm going to do, I'm going to paint this with rust inhibitor anyway, and paint that with rust inhibitor, and back over this one as well, because I've ground a little bit of this away. So paint them all up. They'll be drying off, which is good. So what are we doing else? What else are we doing? What else we're doing? Let's go this way. Let's go this way and have a look and see what we've done. We've popped the windows out. Now I didn't show this on YouTube, but to be fair, they're very easy to take out. What we've got to do is take out the centre bit of trim, and that just tweaks out with a screwdriver, and then give a little bit of force on one corner of the window and just peel it out basically. And I've taken out the window over that side as well, so I have these three windows are all gone. And we were having a quick look at this. It's not as bad as it looked. What I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to, I've gone on it once with a grinder. I'm going to go over it again with a wire wheel and take out all of this rust as much as I possibly can anyway. I'm not going to weld it. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to treat this with rust inhibitor, and then we'll fill this bit as well. Okay, and again, I've gone onto the top, which is a real shame, but it's got to be done, isn't it? Can't help it. Every time I go onto a bit that I'm going to keep orange, we get closer to thinking, sod it, let's just do the whole lot and go for a respray. But we're not gonna do it, are we? We're not gonna do it. No, we're not. We'll do that another day, another year. Okay, so that's what we're at the minute. So we're back on. Well, I'll paint those bits at the front, get those done. Oh, it's metal everywhere, look. Needs a bit of a clean up, this, that's for sure. What I did, I've got the way, because obviously the corners are a bit sharp. I've got a nice little die grinder here, so that's quite nice for getting in and clearing out the bits that you can't get to with a grinder. Okay, I'm going to post this and go and have a cup of tea. Maybe a can of lager, what do you reckon? And an Easter egg.